Welcome again at Kopi With Vans. This is your host Vans here. I'm very excited. I just can't tell you, in the past 30 minutes, there's so many things that happen behind the scene. And the best part of hosting or broadcasting from a own home, right, is so much of luxuries of time together with my guest speaker today. Yes, today we are covering the topic on developing the winning psychology. And yes, we have a great speaker today. That is Dr. Ravee Vellu, who is joining us very shortly. But before that, before any show that starts, I always start out with my cup of coffee. I'm sure my speaker, Dr. Ravi, is also having his cup of coffee. Doctor, are you having your coffee? I'm not sure, but let's see. All right. So I'm going to start up the show just by having a warm coffee. I'm sure you are having that coffee as well. It's been a great coffee, right? All right. So let's not. That's great. I got a lot of people who are already starting messaging. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Raja Singham. Thank you so much who are just joining us. If you're watching these, please kindly do share and like. I mean, even if you don't like it, it's fine. But please do share because I believe together with Dr. Ravi and myself today, we are going deeper and deeper into the mind. We had great moments. We talked about we spend a lot of time in discussing how we can bring it to the next level. Let me get Dr. Ravi on top, not on top, on the show, and let's kick the show up. Dr. Ravi.
Hi, everybody. How are you all? How are you all?
Hi, Dr. Ravi. How are you there today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, sir. But I was just telling all the viewers, I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure if you're having the coffee in your end. Are you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you're having your coffee. Cheers. Stop. All right, docs. I think this is our third show.
Yes, correct.
Because of the overwhelming responses from all our viewers who are requesting for more topics. As we can see right now,
Mm-hmm.
we have close to almost 31 viewers watching it right now. Before we even start up, a humble request to all our viewers, please do share and like so that he can reach out to more people
Yeah.
and get benefit of this particular talk. Dr. Ravi, why we even decided to come up with this topic, Doctor, before we even kick in deeper?
You see, basically everybody wants to be a winner. Yeah, anyone, right? So if you would ask them, what do you want to be? They say, I want to become a winner. But winning is, it is not by luck. A lot of them think that winners are lucky people. Winners, it happens by a fluke or some hard work. Yes, it's true. Some luck is involved. Some hard work is involved. But most importantly, one must believe that they are a winner. They must develop the winning psychology within themselves. That is where they will start encountering more winning attitudes and winning success in their life. And that is needed by everyone. And I think that is one of the reasons why we are having this talk today. Everybody wants to be a winner. Everybody is doing it a lot of efforts. Everyone is doing a lot of things. But why is it that some people are still struggling to be a winner? So we are going to go into that topic today.
And we got to tell viewers for this particular talk, I and Dr. Ravi was equally very busy. So we have not prepared, but it is just in the flow of this topic, and we have certain pointers to talk about. So I'm going to get kickstart this great discussion, Doc. I mean, of course, viewers are also encouraged to ask any particular questions if along the way, and I definitely going to bring it there to Doctor and to myself as well if you have a particular question. But please do share and like because we want it to reach out to more people so that
Yeah.
they can be get benefit as well.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Doctor,
Please do share
yes,
it.
so we when we say it's psychology, right? Everybody nowadays become like a guru, right? Whether is it like a food, whether is it everybody become a dietitian, everybody become a psychologist. With this current development of this social media, everybody become a social influencer. Somebody becomes suddenly overnight. I'm a guru. Kind of stuff. I know this can mislead or even go into a greater depression or greater anxiety. But before we even talk about it, the complexity of the mind, can we just get started with that first? Because is it okay if I can get any kind of advice from anyone?
Certainly not. See, like I always say, if you want advice, you want suggestions, you want someone to give you some guidance, you have to select the appropriate people for the appropriate task. It is very important. See, the world is very, very diversified. We have all kind of concepts in this world. We have all kinds of contents in this world. Not everyone can specialize in every content. So we have to understand certain people specializes in certain fields of life. And if you want to find out something about whatever that you want to do, something, some advisors or professional guidance, you have to go to the right people at the right time so that you get the right advice. So I wouldn't agree with the statement that we can just seek anyone offhand in the YouTube or any other social medias and just we get a guide. No, we have to spend our time qualifying the right people to get the right advice. So that is very, very important.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for that. We also understand that nowadays everybody became a guru, so you will never know which guru are you talking to.
Uh-huh.
Of course, if it helps, it helps. But if it's go the other way, it can be also be another issue
Hmm.
that may come along or even greater.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the meaning of life, doctor? Because in this current situation right now, with this pandemic, nobody expected. Now it's going to endemic, so our life is very unpredictable.
Hmm.
Sometimes we live in the current moment,
Hmm.
but then we are living in anxiety and
Yeah.
depression on the past. So are we really living our life every single second? Because we don't see, because people get emotions all over. So we can talk about emotion, we can talk about psychology, but I hand these two to you, doctor,
Uh-huh.
to actually to explain more to
Sure.
the viewers later.
Okay, but the basic thing is if you ask me a first question, what is life? It is the gap between birth and death. Technically, that is the first answer I would give. Life is nothing but it's the gap between birth and death. But then we have to understand that there's a difference between life and living. I think most of them are getting confused with this. When we study, when we go to work, we earn money, we develop a family. Yes, that is, in my perspective, is living. But beyond that living, there's such a thing called life. That is where your soul's evolution process steps in. How happy you are in your life. Have you really met the purpose of your birth? Have you, uh, I can't see you, Wentz. Is there any?
Ah, yes,
Yes.
doctor. I'm here. I'm not. I'm here
So
with you. Yeah.
okay. So basically, the purpose of your life, whether you have met the objectives of your birth, or is your life really going into your soul is going in the correct path, that is where we step into the concept of life. So when you measure success, I would say there is a living success as well as a life success. Not everyone who is successful at their living is successful in their life. We have to understand that. And we have to get it very clear that to win in life, you need the psychology of winning developed in you to a great level. We have to understand that concept of life first. And then we have to go accordingly and fulfill the task that we are here on earth.
And doctor, when we talk about these, the meaning of life that we even
Mm,
talk about, but there are certain scenarios that
mm,
we give our powers, or
mm,
rather, we let people to manipulate us at certain
mm,
angles. Because I think this is what's basically happening in terms of emotions when we talk about. Some people are very emotional. They can be mentally stronger but
mm.
physically fitter, but in terms of emotional they are very weak, so they are
Yes.
always been thrown at all angles. And we can feel that even looking at social media itself, a lot
Mm,
of comparison, a lot of judgment, a lot of stigma is happening right now, and people are always
yes.
living with this: if I don't post something, I'm left behind. So social media
Mm.
has already bring them to another level of
Another level.
anxiety there.
Yes.
Yeah, but how one can live blissful, because that's what we actually talked about a lot of times,
Okay.
living blissful within your space.
See, for that to happen, you must understand the objective of your life first. See, one of the most important thing if you really want a blissful life is you cannot have a comparative lifestyle. While we all most of us, how do we live or how do we measure success? We look at other people. If someone has a car and we feel that we also need that car. If someone has done their degree, we feel that we also need a degree. If someone is getting promoted in our office, we feel that we also need to get promoted. So we somehow rather measure our success according to what other people are attaining in their life. But that will not give you any kind of bliss or happiness. If you really want truthful bliss, if you want real bliss in your life, you have to realize what is your life all about. What is your path all about? And what exactly makes you happy in your life? What are the journeys or what are the destinations that will give you exactly the blissful part of your life? We have to sit down and analyze it for a moment. That is where eventually you will find out what makes you happy and you will feel successful. And eventually, when you get that success, you have developed the winning psychology within you.
So, doctor, can we give powers to our loved ones or to any friends? Because
Mhm.
we often see that, pouring out your emotions, it is like bleeding in front of a shark. Because
Mhm.
somehow or other, emotions or weaknesses is compared,
Mhm.
how you one is behaving. Because then I know that, okay, so and so has some kind of weakness. So they can be use it as a strength.
Okay.
Do you think that
See,
we can give our powers to people?
definitely. You see, there's a difference between emotion and being emotional. We have to understand, as a human being, nobody can live without emotions. And definitely, we will somehow or other share our emotions with our loved ones and especially our family members. We can never run away from that. But most important is we should not be always in a state of emotional crisis. We cannot be always in the emotional mood. So, what do I mean by emotion and an emotional state? Say, for example, if one of our loved ones has left us, definitely for the first 1 week or 2 weeks, we are going to feel the pinch, we are going to be sad, and we are going to be upset about the whole thing. That is emotions. That's perfectly fine. But if you're always going to be sad for the next 1 year, 2 year, whomever you are meeting, you're going to talk about the sadness, you're always going to be grumpy, you're always going to talk about the unhappiness, that is where you are in a state of emotional crisis. That is where you need help. And what happens? It somehow deteriorates you, it somehow makes you weak, and you will never attain the winning psychology if you are going to be too emotional for a long period of time. So we have
Okay.
to differentiate between emotions and being emotional. So being emotion is common, but being emotional is where we make other people powerful or we make other people weak.
But doctor, but the other hand, I'm sure those viewers are listening. I mean, if you have a
Uh-huh.
different view, please
Mhm.
type it out because we can talk
Yeah.
about. Some people say, no, I need to express my emotion. I need to cry. But if you look at their lifelong, probably in a day, probably they cry a couple of times because of other people's situations. Somebody
Yeah.
know that for certain things taken away or expectation didn't meet their whatever the requirements they have, or you didn't get the promotions. Emotionally, they are down. So if you're emotionally down, physically and mentally, you also be drained out. How about that,
Obviously.
doctor? How one can
That's what exactly I'm telling you. See, if you're not getting promoted or you lost something, definitely you will be sad. So emotions is something that you can never run away. But you must learn to come out from those emotions as quick as possible. You cannot be crying over something for the next 1 year. So that is what I'm trying to say. Being emotion, you cannot escape. Nobody can escape being having emotions. But the most important thing is that you cannot be emotional throughout. You must learn to come out from negative emotions as soon as possible. Why? Too long it's been prolonged. Your negative emotions will somehow or other affect your subconscious mind, and you will lose the confidence and courage to succeed and win in life. So that is where the emotions and being emotional steps in.
okay. But how about that? Facing a difficult situation, doc. I mean, we can see that even in our daily life, probably it could have happened in all our lives. But when a situation comes in, that particular person
Mhm.
adds towards that particular situation, of course, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Example, there's no filtration, and I
Mm.
think probably if someone close to our loved one has perished, and of course emotion have to be there, right? You can't be there in a happy
That's
moment.
correct.
But
Yes.
apart from that, apart from our perishing from our loved ones, right, that's perished, how about situations like even single little things, people get extremely emotional, and that's the next question that we are going to pose here, that what was the most difficult thing one had to go through apart from death?
Okay, that is okay. Some people are naturally strong. If something happens, they know how to come out from the emotion soon. Some people are naturally weak. They are not able to come out from the emotions that they go through. In such situations, these people definitely need a professional's help to get themselves cured. So if a person is feeling that they don't have the strength to fight out this emotion and step out from that, then they have to seek professionals and get help. We have to do it. Like a simple example I would give. If you got a cut in your finger, we can put a plaster, right? We can cure it ourselves. But sometimes if the cut is too deep, a plaster will not help. We got no choice, but we have to go to the doctor for treatment. So, on certain situations, we need the professional's help. Likewise, when you have some kind of an emotional crisis or you don't have the strength to come out from certain emotions, you have to seek consultants and get yourself fixed. That is very, very important. So if you were to ask me, what can we do about it? The best we can do is refer them to the right people to get cured.
So what your doc is very simple. Get help at the right person. Get the
Yes, it's
help at
very,
the
very
right.
important. We are all interdependent. Some people have the strength to work on their own. Some people need professionals' help. Like look at your situation, for example. You are a trainer. You've trained many people. Some people do not need a trainer, right? They go to the gym, they exactly know what to do, and they train themselves. But a lot of them need professional help. They need how to get their muscles developed. They need a proper diet system. They need someone to explain to them. So, in such a situation like a fitness, you need a professional's help if you do not know the knowledge, you do not have the knowledge. Likewise, if you are too emotional or if you do not know how to handle your mental crisis, you have to seek professionals and get help. It is not that whether we want or we don't want, we have to.
Doc, as we speak about, parish of loved one, I think Rajini has shared something very personal, and I
Uh-huh.
think she also shared it to the whole group here right now. Thank you, Rajini, for that particular
Yeah,
thought
I'm
or
reading
feeling that you have. Even though it's past 3 years, the
it.
memories are still very fresh. So I think that the
Yes,
value, the emotional is there. I mean, she have all right to feel that. Good
correct.
memories, not easy to overcome. So probably, what is your take in that, Doc?
Okay, for this question, what Ranjani has just asked us, I have to cover on little on parapsychological here. I'm going to touch on a little on parapsychology here. You see, one of the reasons she is still missing a father after 3 years is, in my understanding, I apologize if I'm wrong. My understanding is that maybe she's not aware of what death is all about. She's not been well informed about what could have happened to the father after her death, after his death, sorry. So, what she needs now is someone to advise her on what is death all about and what are the possibilities in her religion or in her belief could have happened to the soul, and to ensure her that her father is in a happier place and is much more happier than what he was used to be. If someone can ensure her that and someone can prove to her that her father is in a better place and make her believe that, I'm very sure she will be willing to let go of this emotion and come out from it. So what she need here is, to be very honest, a professional help who is a specialties in a metaphysical field.
Thank you, Rajini. Thank you for so much for that particular thing. And I mean, I'm sure every one of us probably have lost our loved one. Instead of we saying loss, probably they went to a better place and a greater place.
Exactly.
Probably they are enjoying.
Yeah,
Thank,
that's the truth.
thank you so much, Rajini, for that. I know it's tough because I mean I've lost my dad as well, but I know he's in a happy place. Drinking beers, probably. Okay. On a serious note, thank you, Rajini. Thank you so much. We have more people coming up saying thanks. Thank you, Rani. Thank you, Anbel, and Seema. Thank you so much. Yes, internal lose focus. I think that's focus, right? Internal focus of
Internal focus
control.
of control versus external focus of control.
Control. If internally you isn't strong. See, wow, that's a strong question. That I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
statement that you made. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Seema, for that.
internal focus of
Yeah.
control, internal
Locus, yeah,
locus
locus.
of control versus external locus of
Mm,
control. If internally you aim strong, seek help. Yeah, that's true. I think it's more like a statement she's making. It
mm.
is true. Like if we can't cure certain things within our means, we have to seek help. And I always tell this to everyone: never feel shy or embarrassed to seek help if you feel that mentally you are down, because everyone at one point of their time somewhere they might have to face this. They will face some kind of depression, embarrassment, something that really brings them down. So they have to seek professional help. There's nothing shy here. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. Everyone goes through this. It's perfectly fine to seek help.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Rajini, for that as well. Thank you. Rajini has came back much more stronger. Yes, I'm yet to accept his passing, knowing is such a strong man. I'm still
Yeah.
looking as a dream. Thank you, Rajini. I'm sure time will heal, but
Definitely,
be pleased
definitely.
that he's there. We got more questions that's coming up. Thank you, Sam. I think Sam sent us a very a message here as well. How about situations where you are a very strong person, but it manifests in one feeling, tired mentally and exhausted physically when one is a caregiver? how to overcome this apart from getting sleep, enough sleep, rest, and nutrition?
Okay, like what this question is like, if they're getting enough sleep, enough rest, and nutrition is good, but they are taking care of their mental, their physical state. But why they are getting tired is because of their mental state. We have to work on that, and that is where you need a proper understanding of your own mind, how far you can actually contribute to someone to make them better, and how much you can be a help to another person, and you go in that means. It's very important. We understand certain situations, it's very tiring, it's very exhausting, but sometimes we have to know our limits and go in a logical sense and find out what are the other possible ways we can actually make ourselves become more stronger. And again, like what I said, that is where some professionals are there to help you. That is where therapists actually step in. The therapists kind of develop it for you.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Sam, for that question. I mean, viewers are encouraged to ask more questions. Engage
Yeah.
Dr. Ravee. We are all freshed up with a cup of coffee here right now, so you are welcome to ask us questions. I'm going to go into the next one, Doc. I mean, we're still in the same topic of emotional right now. As everyone has the rights to be emotional because it's their life.
Of course.
But if someone is very emotional, for every little thing, they get very drained out. Their energy can be, very volatile. But Doc, I think in our life, probably this question I got to ask: what will you want to know when you are going to die? And so we all of us going to perish one day,
Yes, of course.
right? There's no infinity here. I mean, of course, if you're blessed, but we are not thinking about the situation we are crying right now. So are we in denial?
I wouldn't say denial. We don't want to address it. I wouldn't directly say we are in denial state, because somehow or other everyone knows that we are not going to be here permanently. But we don't want to think about it. To many people, death is something a taboo, or something in Chinese we call it pantang, or is it Malay? I'm not sure. So we call it pantang, and we don't want to talk about it. But the truth is, as much as you are preparing to live in this world, as much as you think education is important, a good job is important, a good financial situation is important, we have to make investments, we have to purchase insurance because we need to live happily. We also have to program our mind to get prepared to leave this world one day. And we have to do that mode. We cannot be always not thinking about it or sweeping it under the carpet. So I would rather say, as much as you try to live, as much as we are all making a struggle to live in this world, we should be equally educated about we living this world. It's very, very important. And that is where your strength starts growing. It's very important there. If you're not going to understand the portion of being knowledge about living this world, always fear factors are going to strike us. And one day when the reality hits, we are definitely not prepared. So life is not only about living, life is also about getting prepared for our death. We will live one day. Like what he said, we all have to perish one day.
So, Doc, can I ask you something? All right.
Yes.
So we have a positive and negative here. So instead of we said we have lived 25 minutes because we have spoke about 29 minutes, can we
Yes.
say we have lived for 29 minutes? Or could we say we are closer to our grave by 29 minutes?
Whichever way you want to say. You see, if you are still in the beginning stages of your life with the materialistic positivity, then I would say we have crossed 25 minutes. But if you're going to be in the philosophical success of life, you will say I'm 29 minutes after reaching almost to my grave. So whichever way you see, it depends what is the definition of success you have. To some people, always living forever is success. For some people, leaving the earth soon is also success.
Well said, Doc. Well said. Because even in that statement, if you look at it, even in the statement, there is positive and negative. I mean, you can say, I have lived for 29 minutes, or if someone is in the way of presenting yourself, it's how you emit your energy and your
Yes,
vibrations,
true.
because
Yes, correct.
it's very important.
Yes.
We have lots of questions that's coming up. Thank you.
Oh my God.
People.
Good.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to take a couple of them here right now.
Yes.
We have. I'm going to take from Seema. Do you have a quick tips to program the mind, as in snap and switch mental states? I think it's a very interesting one, here, Doc.
Okay, she wants a quick tip. So let me give a quick tip. Affirmations. Every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and every night, do affirmations. what you exactly want in your life. What do you think you should have a mental state of you should possess? Get some into affirmations. That is one of the quick tips I can give you for now. As long as you're saying something every day, regularly, it gets into your subconscious mind, it programs your subconscious mind, and eventually you develop the strength in your subconscious mind to attain what you are wishing for. So this is the quick tip I can give. But if you want a very elaborated tip, then we have to go for courses.
All right. Thank you, Sima.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc, for that. I got a
But
couple of.
like I say, Seema, affirmations really do work. See, if
Thank,
you were to ask me, if you look at in religious context, if you look at Islamic context, they asked to pray 5 times a day. Of course, that's what the Quran says, and they're following it, which is a very, very good thing that they're doing. Why 5 times? Because every few hours once you're reciting the Quran, you're actually thinking about God. So you are actually programming your mind at least 5 times a day to think about God and getting closer to the God. So from a religious perspective, we can say they're praying 5 times. From a psychological perspective, we can also say they're programming the mind into the God consciousness. So there was a reason for them to do these 5 times. So we appreciate that. So that's how exactly affirmations work also. Say positive things as many times as you can, as much as you can. It will definitely kind of give you a switch in your mental state.
thank you, Doc, and thank you, Sima, as well, for engaging Dr. Ravi. Yes, obviously, right? I mean, whatever we believe and whatever we want to pursue in our life, you got to be focused, laser
Yes.
focused. And I think, Doc, I think I shared these a couple of days back. When we say we are a loser, we are also right. When we say we are a winner, we are also right. I mean, both also can be applicable if you choose what kind of energy we want to portray ourselves.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Oh, wow, that's a couple of more questions that came in, Doc.
Okay.
So I'm going to take these first. Probably, one of our viewer has a difficulties in memories, always disturbed, so a lot of disturbances. So how can we look into this, Doc?
Sure, 10 years they can't sleep, right? And a lot of memories. Okay, basically, from a metaphysical point of view, I can say that their subconscious mind has absorbed too many disturbing memories. So what they have to do is they have to go for some kind of a therapy. A psychotherapy might be good for them to get rid of this negative formulation in their subconscious mind and surface it out so that their subconscious mind become much more clearer, and eventually the weight in their subconscious mind and their memory becomes lighter, and they will be able to overcome this sleep issue. So they need a consultant, they need a therapist. See, the biggest problem with a lot of people is when their body is injured, when the body is not doing well, they immediately see a medical doctor. But whenever something happens to their mind, they unconsciously believe that they can heal it themselves. Not everyone possesses that strength. That is where you need professionals' help. As much as we need to pay for and make some effort to see a doctor to get our physical part rectified, our mental nature is also equally important. We need to make efforts to get it sorted out. So
Yes, Doc.
in this situation where she can't sleep for 10 years, that is because too much of negative emotions has been bottled up. So she has to get rid of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you for that question for our viewer from there. Thank you so
Uh,
much. We're also going to go in, Doc. I think we have more questions that line up, so probably we'll take a few more questions before we
and we
go
have
into
not
the
touched
topic.
about the winning part yet.
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, viewers, we got to tell you something. We have not even come to the main topic. We
Topic.
are still talking in the warming up section. We are still in the baby pool. We need to go to the deeper pool. But
Liverpool.
please keep on coming up with the questions, because Dr. Ravi and myself are here. We are going to take every questions of yourself, even though if it goes midnight. But probably Dr. Ravi will be, alert. Okay, Doc. So we are going to go for the next one.
Yes.
So thank you, Priya Darshini. Said, hi, Van, Dr. Ravi, great work. Yeah, it's my childhood. It's really a roller coaster ride, but now I'm dying. Good now, but anytime my past aunt, totally cut off. So I think it's about a childhood and also
Correct.
a bit of a roller coaster right now for her.
Right. Okay. Basically, Priyadarshini Bala, everyone somehow has a good past or a bad past. We would have encountered. No one would have just a pleasant life throughout. Maybe that is a fairy tale lifestyle. Maybe some very very lucky people could have got it, but majority of them would have went through some kind of a mishap in their childhood days. We cannot eradicate what happened. How do you make those kind of experiences less powerful? Only way is by accepting them and understanding the rationale why it happened to you in your life and what are the possible reasons for it to happen and how have you overcome it and how is your life now. That the acceptance is the only way that you actually come out from such kind of weight in your deep mind. So don't we can never expect it to cut it off totally. It's not going to happen because memory bank is a very strong area. You're not going to just cut it off like that. What is more important is how much have you accepted? You see, like the initial topic that we were saying, if someone were to leave us from our family, after 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, we become less intense, or rather, we are normal. It is not because the memory has been cut off. We have accepted that they are no more. We have accepted that anyone who come to this earth will live one day. We have come to that understanding, and that is the reason we are back to our normal day life. Likewise, your childhood past is not going to eradicate by any means. You have to come to an understanding why it happens. You can understand it from a psychological point of view, or you can also understand it from a parapsychological point of view. Why did your soul go through all this? Is there a purpose for your soul to meet all these things? As long as you got this reasoning, you will be much more peaceful. See, a lot of people go through a lot of unhappiness once. It is because they're not getting answers and explanations to why their life was such. If you meet someone who can give you an explanation why certain things happen in your life and you went through, whether it could be from the psychological point or the parapsychological point, they will become more contented, they will become more calmer, they will become more peaceful. So there is a reason for things to happen, and there's also ways for you to cool down. So we have to go for the ways and find out and accept things, why certain things happen.
Doc, I mean, I was sharing a topic just a couple of days back. I think, in fact, just 2 days back. In my past 23 years, we always talk about physical fitness. We need to build up the muscle. We have to do this. But I think that is just one aspect of life. But I think the main aspect of life is to train the entire complexity of our brain to be fitter, to be strong, to feed in the positive things, to feed in the right nutrition, and to stay, in such a high vibration. I think it's a big challenge here right now, Doc, because there's so much toxics and so many people just coming around with all these bad energies.
Yes.
I mean, as a metaphysics consultant and a motivational speaker, Doc, I mean, this is one of the things that people can just put away, stay away from me. Don't come near. Is that possible? We can do that?
No, definitely not. You see, I think we were discussing this in our first topic, psychophysical unit, if you remember. And I was mentioning it very clearly that life is made up of two components: the physical component, which is your body, and the psychological component, which is your soul. The soul plus body is equal to life. So if you want your life to be happy, you have the responsibility to take care of both the components. Most of the time, we are busy decorating the physical body. We are not decorating the soul. So what do you mean by the soul? It is where your thoughts, your mind, the mental strength, the mind power, overcoming negative emotions, all these are considered to be the soul category. We have to work on that as well. The physical itself will not help. Both needs to be done on par. And that is where you start having a happy life. So you are not able to push away things. Nobody can do that. Life is about acceptance. Life is about changing to the better, and life is about understanding what things are all about. So we must have the power to accept things in our life and change accordingly.
Thank you, Doc. Definitely, Priyadarshini has already taken that feedback and she's already applying it. We are very happy to see that, a quick tip like just Dr. Ravee has just explained here. And of course, we are happy to see that comment coming out from Priyadarshini as well. Doc, I know
today's topic is going to stretch to another extra 1 hour.
I know, because you know what, Doc, we are still at 40 minutes of talk session right now, and we not even go to the
topic.
We are wearing the, the not Teletubby, what do you call that? You wear the tubing in the baby pool and then still there. But viewers, like I said earlier, we are going to answer all those questions that you're going to
Mhm.
post here. I got one here by Sharon, and I
Okay.
think Sharon also mentioned it very nicely. Attachment to people and
And material
material
possessions.
possessions will bring misery when we
Yeah.
lose them. Can we learn to practice detachment to accept the
Mhm.
loss when it comes?
Okay. Basically, you don't practice detachment after losing them. It's not going to work. Most of us, when we are getting attached to someone or some material things, we are getting very happy. Then, after we lose them, we talk about detachment. It cannot work that way. Whenever you are going to get attached to something or someone, you have to program your mind that one day this thing will not be with me. In a simple practical situation, say for example, we are getting married and then we are tying the knot. On that day, we are going to get attached to our spouse. The reality and the truth is, one day we have to leave the spouse. Either they leave us or we leave them. That is a reality. But we never get prepared. We are so engrossed in the attachment, and then we forget about there's such a thing called detachment. So, in a wisdom state of mind, we always say whenever you're getting attached to something, you must come to an understanding that this thing or whatever you're getting attached to one day will not be with you. And if you have accepted it, fine. If you're not accepting it, when that person leaves you or that something happens, you are going to suffer big time. This is what I call mental strength, Vanan. Basically, is when you have to see the things, the world in a two standards. Anything that is black, there's white. If there's a rain, there's sunshine. If there's poison, there is something sweet. So, likewise, if there's an attachment, definitely there will be a detachment. We must balance our mind to understand that we have to accept both. We always cannot be so engrossed in attachment. The detachment is equally true. Like if I go into a little bit of a religious explanation here, in Hinduism we always call this word Om, A-U-M, Om. Every mantra is Om, Om, Om. Why is it given to us as Om? A-U-M simply means Agaram, Ugaram, and Makaram. Agaram means creation, Ugaram means preservation, and Mahara means destruction. That is why we call it Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So the Om itself reveals that anything that is created one day will be destructed. So that is the reason to program this in our mind. All the mantras are starting with Om, Om, and Om. So every time when we chant the word Om, we have to come to an understanding that whatever that is being created will be preserved for some time and eventually will be destroyed. Same goes for relationship and same goes for all attachment. We create an attachment, eventually we have to leave that attachment.
So nothing is permanent, doc. Nothing. Everything is
Everything
just
is
a
permanent, only
temporary
is
Maya.
not
We call it
temporary.
Maya.
Yes, exactly. So we have to accept it.
All right. We are overwhelmed with all the questions here. Like I said, we definitely will answer it. But right now, we are going to the main topic right now. So keep on coming your questions. I'm already seeing a lot of questions that line up. I will definitely will take it to Dr. Ravee. And definitely we'll go through that. Okay, Doc. So
Sure.
let's dive into the deep pool right now, and let's talk about the winning of
Psychology.
psychology that we talk about. And I know, we when we talk about this, people say, hey, psychology is just a simple thing, just be positive, go and exercise, go and go for a break. But what
Hmm.
is in the context of your explanation, doc? I mean, in your theories and your procedures, that the winning psychology.
Okay, before we step into the winning psychology, one of the utmost principle that we have to accept in our belief system is we are all winners already. This is the Taraka mantra. We always should say this is the key mantra. We are all winners already. Why am I saying that? You see, or from a biological point of view, when a man and a woman copulates, millions of sperm cells rush into the egg, but only one succeeds, and that one is what we are today. So we are already a successful person, and then furthermore, we came in a liquid state. We were staying in our mother's womb, we became a solid state. And we were almost 9 months to 10 months residing in our mother's womb in a very crawling position, in a very twisted position. And finally, we came. So we survived in a dark room, coming from a liquid state, transforming into a solid state, and absorbing all the energy from our mother, and finally coming to this world. Aren't we already a winner? Everyone should go and think about this. When I first came to this earth, I am already a winner. Why is it that after coming to this earth, I'm talking about winning and so fearful about being going to lose? Simple reason, they're comparing their life with everyone else. That's all. You are already a winner. This is the first step that today we are going to endorse with. We are already a winner. So the psychology of winning is already within us. Somehow or other, we are not exercising it and developing it. And that is the reason we are actually going through a lot of pain when something doesn't go our way.
Doc, I mean, we see these all the time. I mean, all the time. Probably it's because of the surrounding. Probably they are mixing with. I mean, there's always a saying, right? If I'm going to be with a swimmer for the next 8 months,
Yeah,
I will be definitely will be in the swimming pool, because if he's yeah, right, and definitely I'm going to swim,
exactly.
and that's going to be, if I'm going to stuck into a barber shop, eventually I will shave and all whatever the hair,
Yes.
the kind of psychology, the kind of energy, the kind of vibration that we are talking about. In your expertise, Doc, like what you said, the reading psychology, as we are going in deeper, how one can just be, like what you just said,
Influenced.
we are already a winner, but as we evolve in our, either in our work or the environment, we tend to become very low in confidence, low in
Yes, correct.
motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because, like I said, life, like I say, there's a difference between life and living. You have to make it clear that you have to be successful or a winner in your life as well as in your living. You have to get that thing sorted out first. A lot of people who are successful in their living might not be successful in their life. A lot of people who have succeeded in their life might not be successful in their living. So we first have to define, to be a winner, what is our real definition? Are we going toward the path of life, or are we talking about living success? So although we already know that we are successful and we have the winning psychology within us, then why are we still fearful? Simple reason. As we studied, as we gathered intelligence, when we started growing, we could not figure out what is real success all about. We started comparing with ourselves with this world. We started seeing how other people are studying, how other people are working, how much they are earning, what kind of positions they are having, what kind of houses they are living in, what kind of cars they are driving. And we measured our success according to what they have achieved in their life. And that is where the fear factor comes in. But if you really look at the context, you are naturally a winner in your own way and your own purpose of life. And that people have to realize it first. And that is, in fact, our first point for today. We start with counting the blessings. If you want to create a winning psychology, if you want to have the conscious feeling that you are a winner, count your blessings. A simple thing. We all have a house now, right? We are staying in a house. How many of us, we sit in the hall, in our house, the home hall, we look at our house and say, I have a house, I have a sofa, I have a TV, I have a bed, I have an aircon in my house, I have a refrigerator, I have a kitchen, I can cook, I have food, I have water in the toilet, I am rich, I am a winner, I have already accomplished all these things. How many of us are doing it? We don't. We sit in the hall and we always think what we don't have. You see, I've seen many people who bought a house, sit in their house, and they say, I want to change my house. I need to get a bigger house. Yes, you can get a bigger house. You can always go for a better lifestyle, is good. But first, appreciate what you have. Feel that you already attained a lot of things. Feel that you are a winner in your life. That is where you can move on to the next area. If you are not going to appreciate the winning power within you, even the next thing that you're dreaming about comes into line, you are not going to appreciate and feel fulfilled about it. So that is the first step. Start counting your blessings. Think that whatever you have is a material with you. It can be small or big, doesn't matter, but you have it. That means you had the power to consume it. You had the power to control it. Then you already have the winning psychology with you. You have the winning power with you. This is the first step everyone should cultivate.
As we go in deeper, of course, I'd like to dive in more deeper. There's devil and there's angel within us. Sometimes
Yes, of
we,
course.
like what you said, we don't count the blessings, but we count the problems. We
Yes.
don't look at solutions, but we look at the big problems.
Problems.
And
Yeah.
then we compare ourselves to the other neighbor and say that, oh, he bought a bigger house. I want to get bigger than him. So there's
Yes.
always
Correct.
comparison and anxiety built
Yeah.
up. How to control that demon or the devil within us? Press it down. Press.
Okay. How do you do it? That is where
Yeah.
realization comes in. If you talk about spirituality here, this is what people call about realization and self-awareness. See, the Maya mind or the ignorant mind will always make you realize what you don't have. The intellectual mind or the wisdom mind or the God's mind, we call it in spiritual sense, make you realize that you already have a lot of things. I think we did this experiment in one of these talks, the first one or second one. Remember, I asked you to hold a cup, and then I said, "What do you have?" You said cup, and I said, "When put down the cup, what do you have?" You said nothing. But actually, you have 10 fingers. But your ignorant mind refuses to see the 10 fingers. It is always waiting for the cup. It is always looking for the cup. The moment the cup is not there, it makes you feel that you're a loser. You don't have something. And this comes with realization. And that is where, in those days, we had gurus to transpond these kind of messages. People, if you look at the Hinduism concept, they went to ashramam and all those places. That is where the gurus were imparting these kind of knowledges. Look at life from a positive dimension. That is why we need teachers for mind programming. See, in today's context, everybody is asked to study. We send our children to school, we say study, 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 but no one teaches them to think. And that is why they attain a lot of things. They have attained their degrees, their diplomas, a lot of good work and income, but they still feel empty inside. Why? Because they don't realize that they have already won in life. They don't realize that the winning pattern is always with them. And this is what is lacking in every human being, and that is why they are caught up with stress.
So it looks like, Doc, I mean, psychology has been taught in all schools right now, starting from
Actually,
kindergarten
it
all the way
is.
to primary.
You
You
see,
have
as
to.
long brain prevails, psychology prevails. Anyone who has a brain, somehow or other is into the psychology mode. You cannot run away from it. So we have to understand that is where thinking skills are formed. Like remember the we did the mee goreng exercise. You said you wanted to go with your friend. Remember I said what happens if the shop is closed? When you go to the shop is closed. What are we going to say? I came all the way. The mee goreng shop is closed. That is looking at the empty portion. But the positive thinker will always say the mee goreng shop is closed. Doesn't matter. The kway teow shop is open.
Yes,
You
correct.
look at what is open there. Why are you looking at what is closed there in the restaurant? Why you go to a hawker center? Why are you always looking at what is closed? Look at
But
what is open.
doctor, some people get disappointed. You know what? I came all the way. I took a grab. Why is it
You
closed? And
see,
then
again,
it's
coming
like,
back to our emotions. Disappointment is an emotion. Yes, for the first 5 minutes, you will feel disappointed, but you must come out from it soon and say, okay, the mee goreng shop is closed. Anyway, we have fried rice today. So you don't stay emotional. So the emotion will definitely set in, disappointment will set in, but you cannot be disappointed for the next 1-2 hours. That is where
you
you
know,
need
Doc,
mental
like
strength
what
to
you say,
come.
right? Like what you say, Doc. I mean, the emotional just overtakes them and then put them
Yeah.
into such a misery because we've seen people
Mm.
when certain things are not given to them, they go like,
Oh,
oh,
yes.
like, all
The
tear
truth
apart.
is,
They went down. So
the truth
how do you think?
is, they need to be educated about their mind. They need to be educated about life. Like I said, life is made up of two components. If there's rain, there is dryness, sun. If there's a nectar, there can be a poison. So the world is, if there's birth, there's death. Likewise, when you plan for something, you have to program in your mind either we attain it or we might not attain it. Now, in psychological motivation, we always say when you try something, either you attain what you wanted or you learn from it. There's no such thing as losing. We say winner, loser. No such thing as a loser. When you do something and you get what you wanted, you're a winner. If you did not get it, you have learned something. You are also a winner there. You learn one part, or the first part you get material gains, the second part you get knowledge gains. So you're a winner on both areas. This is how you develop the winning power within you, the winning psychology. Everything happens for a reason and everything is happening perfectly, and I am a winner. Whatever is given to me has to be given to me. Whatever will never be mine will never be mine. You accept this, simple as that.
So, doctor, what I'm getting here is because this is what exactly I practice. I'm sure you are an expert in this field as well, right?
Okay.
For viewers, it's definitely going to benefit as well. Any situation that comes to you, you always take it as a learning in process, and you have tried it. So it's
Yes.
never about a failure. It is about success because you successfully got it, and you're not
Yeah.
going to repeat the same thing
Same
again.
thing.
But you know,
You see,
doc,
like
is it
if
because
you
of
look
the
at
expectation?
Thomas Alva Edison, who's claimed to be he did the bulb, who founded the bulb. They
Yeah.
always say that the bulb only lighted up after many, many, many attempts. And then after when the bulb lighted up, the reporters asked him, "How come you failed many times?" And Thomas Alva Edison said, "I did not fail. I learned so many ways how not to make a bulb." So that's how you look at life. And that is why they're successful people. Successful people, they don't have the word losing in their dictionary.
There we
They
go. That's
always
right.
win. Either the material win or a knowledge win. Either way, you get something.
So it's
This is
how
where the
we
psychology
look
of
at
winning
things.
comes in. Yeah.
All right, Doc. So, I mean, we still in the main topic right now, and I
Yes.
know there are a few questions that's coming. So, viewers, please do posting your questions here. We will definitely ask. Let's
Okay.
see, is there any more other things that we are going to learn from this winning
Yes, of course,
part of
true.
the development here?
See, one of the another ways to develop your winning psychology is always talk to the right people and who are in the path where they can embrace positivity. Very important. See, I want to say a simple story that I've written some time back. There was this eagle which hatched from an egg, but the mother died. So a farmer brought this eagle and placed the eagle in a chicken farm. So the eagle was actually growing with the chicken. So what the eagle does is it pick up the worms, stay with the chicken, and then run here and there. One day a snake came to that farm. So all the chickens went to their cocoon and started hiding. They went to their cave and the cage and started hiding. And the eagle also did the same thing. Another eagle, which was flying high, looked at this and said, "Why is this eagle hiding inside a cage? It has the strength to fight with the snake. Why is he hiding?" So it went to approach the eagle and said, "Why are you hiding? We eagles can actually attack a snake." The other eagle said, "I don't know. I think I'm a chicken and I don't know how to attack the snake." So this eagle brought the other eagle to his eagle's den and trained them for 3 months. After 3 months, this eagle, which was scared of the snake, started attacking all the snakes. So it's a very simple thing. Who you mix with, you become them. So you have to talk to the right people with a positive mindset, positive mind frame if you want to create the winning psychology within you. It's very, very important. If you're going to talk to the wrong people who always complain about life, who always complain about their losing ends, who always complain about what they did not achieve in their life, you are also going to get frustrated with life and you will lose the winning psychology which was developed in you by the time when you were born. So it's very, very important who we are talking to. And like we always say, a soul develops through the five senses. Whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we smell, whatever we taste, and whatever we feel, this actually kind of develops your soul. So if you want a winning psychology to be with you, you must use these five senses correctly. Use it for the positivity. See the right things, hear the right things, speak the right things, talk to the right people. That is where the winning psychology inside you become much stronger. And we have to make this a habit to do. Yeah.
Okay, viewers, you all know what to do from today onwards. Like Dr. Ravee has suggested, a couple of few of these therapies that we need to do. Our quick tips. Doctor, I mean, at this point of time, I think we should take another question here right now,
Sure.
because it's overflowing right now.
Good.
I, I'm going to take this one right now. It is by is meditation. Okay, let's go into the meditation part.
Okay. Is
Is meditation
meditation.
is optional in our daily life, or keep it as a daily practice to keep our mind calm and stronger?
Okay. Do you think bathing every day is an optional or a permanent thing supposed to be done? Do you think bathing is supposed to be an option or is supposed to be done every day?
Every day, doc. Every day, just like
Why?
brushing teeth.
Because if you don't bathe, what happens? Your body becomes dirty, then fungus accumulates. Sooner or later, your body stinks. The same thing goes to mind, and it has to be cleansed. And the cleansing agent for mind is meditation. So it is not an option, it is a part of your life. So unless if you feel that bathing is not needed every day, then meditation is also not needed every day. Like I said, we always decorate the physical body, but the psychological body, we can't be bothered. We always take it for granted. And that is the problem.
Thank you for that question. Thank you. Thank you so much. We also have one more, doc. After that, we will just go into the main topic and then
And
we will conclude that. So, any idea about hypnotherapy? How it can help in grief or
definitely,
bereavement?
hypnotherapy is one of the ways where actually your mind can be cleansed. But the problem is, it has to be done correctly with a very, very well qualified people. So, hypnotherapy, I understand in today's context, we do have a lot of courses on that. But after completing the course, I'm not ready to say that everyone is a hypnotherapist. So, hypnotherapist is definitely a good way to actually make someone speak, open up their mind, and cleanse their subconscious mind. But it has to be done in a rightful manner. Yeah.
Thank you, doc.
Mhm.
Hopefully, it's a process that you got to go to the right people to
Yes.
get the help done. We got another question that just come in. I'm going to take this in. Ganesan has asked us, how about practicing detachment? I mean, the same thing coming back again,
Yeah.
so that we
Yes,
don't
we
train
so
ourselves.
detachment, yes.
Yeah.
You see, practicing detachment can be done at many levels. We can call it physical detachment. We have to call it mental detachment. Which detachment are we talking about? See, the word detachment is a very heavy word. It's not easy. If I were to say, I want to detach from my family, and then where am I going to go? Those days they went to the forest, they became sannyasis. But today, where am I going to go for physical detachment? If I leave my house, I have to go to my mother's house. Is that detachment? No, right? Where else can we go? So, what we can do is mental detachment is possible to a certain level. What do you mean by mental detachment? When I was 20 years old, I loved prawn sambal. When I'm now, say, 50, I have diabetes, say, for example, and I have cholesterol. I am not supposed to like the prawn sambal anymore. So, what I do, I detach myself from the prawn sambal in a mental state. What I do last time, I used to take 1 week twice. Now, maybe 6 months once, I take this prawn sambal just for a bit. This is how you detach things nowadays. So you have to understand when you talk about detachment in modern context. You see, when we go back home, we got 1,000 bills to pay. You have to pay for the house, you have to pay for your handphone, you have to pay for your car, you have to pay for this and that. Where are we going to get ourselves detached to? Most of us got our housing loan until the age of 65. How to
Yes.
detach? At 65, you want to detach and go where? So, how practical is physical detachment? No. So, we have to practice mental detachment. What you liked at 20, you cannot be liking it at 60. What you did at 40, you cannot be doing it at 60. At 25 years old, my lifestyle was different. At 50, my lifestyle will not be the same. I have to take a different lifestyle. This is what I call detachment today. So called the modern detachment, we can say. And certain things, like you say, when my son was, say, 15 years old, I was always controlling him. If my son is reaching 40, I must accept he has grown up, he's an adult. I can't be controlling him anymore. I just let him do what he wants to do. This is called detachment. So we can do mental detachment with correct practices. But in today's concept, especially in Singapore, if you want to do physical detachment, it might not be possible for many people.
Okay, for all the wives who are listening to this, all right, we're not telling any man to go any detachment. But if your husband do tend to go, there's no much of place he can go. Either Fort Canning Park or Bukit Timah Hill or some beach. Even though also the police will chase them away. So we are not encouraging that, but we are only focusing on
See,
the
Manan,
mental
I just
detachment.
like to crack a simple joke here as well.
Yes.
A little bit of adult content, but I think
Okay.
it's okay. Yeah. Someone ever asked me, sir, I want to become a sannyasi. I want to go into detachment forest. I said, Ken, definitely you want to go. But I ask you one question. If you go to the forest and your wife falls for another man, are you able to take it? Then the face changed. I said, if you can't take it, what detachment are you talking about? If you want to go to the forest, you want to become a sannyasi, you want to become a saint, after that, your wife, whoever she marries or whoever she's with, you must be able to take it. You cannot be sitting in the forest and thinking about what my wife is doing. So let's not get there, get real in life today.
In Tamil, they will say, no soru, no tanni for you, bro.
Correct.
You have been asked that. Hopefully, your wife is not watching that. What are you talking? What detachment are you talking? Where are you
Isn't this
planning
the
to go?
reality? A lot of people talk about physical detachment, but are we ready for that? It is not a joke. All those are not a joke.
Thank you. I mean, on a serious note, I mean, it's very important because, as like what Doctor has said, we all with lots of commitment and the same time, we
Mhm.
need to enjoy life as the
Yes.
progress as we go on. Doctor, are we going to cover any more on the
Yes,
winning
of course.
development
Another
strategy?
thing,
Yeah.
if you really want reading psychology, learn to achieve your dreams. Like this example, I will always give in my class. Never let the dollar sign topple you. Meaning, if say for example, you like to buy a Prada bag, you have to ask two questions. If you're a female, you like a Prada bag, which can cost say $3,000. For example, first thing you have to ask, do you want it or you don't want it? If you don't want it, it's fine. But if you think you need it, if you think that you need it and you want to carry one because it helps you in your business or your job or whatever, and then you go to the shop and then you ask someone, how much is this? And they say, this is $3,000. Because it is $3,000, never use the word expensive and run away.
Mm,
Because it is not expensive. We cannot afford it. Whenever we cannot afford something, we call it expensive. This is self cheating. Anyone who uses the word expensive because they can't afford it, they are never going to afford anything in their life. So then what is expensive? I saw this Prada bag in this shop for $3,000. I went to another shop and I saw the same bag, same quality for $2,500. Then the first shop is expensive. So expensive is one word that should not be misused, because misusing the word expensive kills your winning psychology. So if you think that you need this back, what you should do, you might not have the money. Go back, plan 1 month. How much can I save? I can save $100. Tell yourself, after 36 months, I will come back and buy this bag. 3 years later, carry that bag. The moment you carry the bag, the intelligent mind knows that you have bought the bag, but your subconscious mind knows whatever you want, you can achieve it. This is how you develop winning psychology. Never let the dollar sign make you run away from your goals and your desires, provided you really want them. If you don't want them, it's fine. But if you really need it, you must develop this strength. What most of us do, we all have desires, we all have goals. But the moment we see the price, we just go back. We don't make an effort to save up our money. We don't have the drive to save our money, come back and one day carry that back. This is why we are losing the winning psychology. And to give an excuse for we can't afford what we say is expensive. Cut that word expensive from your dictionary. It kills your winning psychology. I always tell this in my class and all my programs. The word expensive kills you internally. Cut away your confidence. Make you believe that you can't afford things in your life. Forever, in whatever things that you want to buy, you will be always running away because the dollar sign looks high to you. Build your self-esteem, build your status to a level where it is bigger than the dollar sign. This is where winning psychology steps in.
so you're going to be the master for the dollar sign. Instead, the dollar sign become the master. Then it's going to
Exactly.
be different. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah.
This is
You
how
know,
you
Doc,
develop. Yeah.
a very interesting topic as you mentioned, because I know a particular individual who battled a very hard childhood, and he worked his butt off. All right, he really worked his butt off at a certain goals. He provided the best, comfortable for the family and kind of stuff. And then one day he just went into a shop. He told me the experience, even though he knows that it was a couple of thousand expensive. I mean, I'm using the word expensive. He still want to get it.
Mm.
The reason behind that is because of his achievement that he have worked for, and the days
Exactly.
and nights and sleepless night. So for him, the word expensive wasn't there, even though it causes more, he
Then the
still
budget.
go and get it. Yeah.
That
So
is
he felt
where the
good.
winning psychology develops.
Achievement.
People have to understand this. They have to make them believe that they have the mental strength to achieve what they want to achieve in their life. Never let money or the dollar sign chase away, because the moment you start running away because of the dollar sign, forever in your life, you will be always running and running and running, and you're not going to achieve the strength.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hope viewers get that as well.
Hmm.
Doctor, are we completing any more final topic on that winning development?
Okay, one more thing I can give. Always
Okay.
learn to develop some short-term goals and long-term goals. A short-term goal can be just 1 day or 1 week or a 1 month plan. Say, for example, if you plan to go to the zoo this Saturday, make sure you go. You don't come up with an excuse. Because if you do not go to the zoo, your intelligent mind knows that you're not going to the zoo, but your subconscious mind only believes that you're not capable of keeping up your promise. And that will actually deteriorate the winning psychology within you. You will never achieve whatever you plan for. So every day you need to have some kind of a short-term goals, or at least 1 week once, or at least a 3 months. If you don't know how to do cycling, say for example, you don't know how to cycle, make it a challenge. Say that in 3 months' time, I will somehow or other cycle, and make it a point to achieve it. The moment you achieve cycling, your subconscious mind starts believing that you can win whatever you desire for. This is a simple technique that everyone should follow. Take some short-term goals in your life. Like those people who attend my programs, my classes, I always tell them, in 1 year, you need to have at least 6 short-term goals. And make sure you give them. It gives your subconscious mind the power and the winning psychology to achieve whatever you want in your life.
And I believe that also a dopamine booster, so that you feel good and then you want to
Yes,
go more.
yes, because when you attain something, your endorphins increases because you're happy, and that will make you achieve more. So somehow or other, psychology and physical capacity works hand in hand, and we should understand the concept of the body and the mind.
Beautiful, doctor. Beautiful. I'm just going to take one more question here. I know viewers
Sure.
are sending me.
I have the time, so if you want, you can carry on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay
So it
with it.
looks like it's going to be a marathon tonight.
I'm happy to give some good messages to our
All
people.
right. Prem Raj is asking, doctor, how to find out our own coping mechanism to reduce unpleasant emotions?
How
Emotions,
to
yes.
find out our own coping mechanism. Like I said, first thing, if you have anything that is disturbing you, something that is some kind of an emotion or some kind of a matter that is distracting your mind for more than 21 days, that is an indication that you do not have the strength to overcome that. You need to see the professionals. If you have the ability, you would have overcome it within the 21 days. So the 21 days is a kind of a benchmark that I give to all my students, to say that if you cannot cope with something within 21 days, you definitely need external help. That means it clearly shows that you can't handle it.
Thank you, doctor. So 21
Yeah.
days. And if you're still under very emotional for certain particular thing,
Yes,
you
whether
know
it's
what to do.
anger, whether it's sadness, or whether it's depression, it should not go for more than 21 days. You should come out from it within the month. It's important.
I think in Asia context, doc, I mean, the stigma is still there. You know, if you're going to see a professional, especially
That's
if you are going to
something
see a
else.
psychologist or
Yes.
psychiatrist or even a consultant, even yourself,
Yeah.
you know, they think, like, oh, I don't want people to know. I feel people will say something
See,
about
one
me.
of the typical thing is, even when I tell some people, I think your child need to see a psychologist. The first thing they ask me, my son mad. I say that the madness got nothing to do.
There you
Like
go.
if our spine is hurting, we see orthopedic. If a stomach is hurting, then we see a gastritis doctor. Likewise, if something is wrong with the thinking ability or emotions, you need to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. It is just a part of the medical process. So why do we need to think that, am I mad to go through this? No. We have to cut away from all these ideas. We have to cut away from all these ideas.
Thank you, doctor. I think we are already in the 1 hour and 40 minutes, and I think we have taken almost most of the questions. And I think we still have lots of viewers who are just watching us. Thank you so much. In fact, I and Dr. Ravee are going to share a very good piece of news to all our viewers. Maybe, doctor, give you the pleasure to cut the red ribbon.
Oh, no. I think you should do it. It's your program once. I think you should be
Okay.
given the pleasure to do it.
Okay, because thanks, doctor, for giving me the. But can I have the scissors, please?
Please carry
on. Due to overwhelming responses over the past couple of months on the topic of psychology, and with Dr. Ravee Vellu's practices and SOPs and the way his expertise, we both have come up with causes that we are going to give talks, and we're going to even go even in a deeper into the mind and physical the behaviors, the emotions. We're going to cover very, very great topics. Please stay tuned for more information that's going to come in. Doctor, any words from your side?
Yeah, I think for now, I think we have covered quite a lot. So, like what I said, the first thing that the mantra that we should follow is that every one of us are winners. And now, even for a start, as usual, I always say, sharing this video, sharing this link with all the friends in Facebook and WhatsApp or whatever, so itself is a process of creating a winning mind. Why? If we feel that today we have benefited from this session, a winning mind will always say that others should also benefit from this whole concept. So one of the key ways is share these kind of videos, share this kind of link with everyone as possible. Our society needs this. And once it's doing this program totally at no cost, it's free for everybody. And I think what we have attained, it's only fair that these messages could be shared with everyone. So I equally request everyone to share these videos and like these videos, and most importantly, give comments. Somehow or other, people like to look at comments. And when they get positive comments, they somehow or other go into the video and watch it. So please do your share so that we can do more of these kind of programs and benefit the society eventually. Yeah, that's my humble request to you all.
Thank you, Doctor. It was another successful topic today. I know we are, even though we want to dive in a lot of topics that we want to talk about, but the questions was also very helpful to people who have a quick, really a tip, but also the advisors, what Dr. Ravee has mentioned here. Thank you so much all to all the viewers. Any final advice, Doc? I mean, we have spoken a lot for the past 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, sure. And look out in our web pages, our Facebook pages, where we post our talks and about our programs. And if possible, please come and participate. It definitely will benefit you in some way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. So to all the viewers, please stay tuned because we are going to come up with courses. We're going to come up with lectures as well to discuss these and to share with every one of you. Also, stay tuned. And thank you very much, Dr. Ravee, for coming.
Thank you.
I think the fourth time, right?
Because of this topic.
Yeah, third time. We already have some viewers who are saying that I'm a winner. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah. Usually when we want to end the show, then only people are encouraging us.
People will be excited about the whole thing. Yes.
Thank you so much.
That is the truth. There's no such thing as a loser. Believe that first. There's no such thing as losers. You see, another one simple snippet I would like to give. When Abraham Lincoln became the president of America, he has been kind of losing in his life right from the age of 22. He did a lot of things. He did business. He's trying to stand in for the assembly, the councillor's position. Everything was a failure. And finally, at almost the age of 50, he became the president of America. And when they asked him, how come did you fail almost half your life you were failing? And finally you became the president. Abraham Lincoln said this word, which I believe. The whole world believed that I failed. But one man did not believe I failed. And that man is called Abraham Lincoln. So the whole world might see you as a failure. Everyone might see all the unsuccessful portion of your life. But you have to believe that you are successful. That is the key mantra that I want to finish up with today.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. That was a powerful message to share with all our viewers at this point of time. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Dr. Ravee, for another exciting topic at Kopi With Vans. I'm sure you have drank your coffee, right? Have you drank your coffee?
Yes, finished.
Look at it. Yeah, okay, finish your coffee. We have to go for another coffee, Doc.
We will see how it goes, and from there we will catch up again. Yep.
All right, Doctor. So we'll catch up soon. Thank you so much, and let's stay connected.
Sure.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, we have another comment just came in. Thanks to the both of you. This session really helped me a lot. Guide my patients and their families who are suffering due to chronic illness. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure.
Very pleasant to see these messages before we end the show. Thank you so much.
This is what you call winning psychology. That's all. She's making us a winner now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. We will catch up soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a pleasant evening.
Sure,
Bye-bye.
sure.
So that is Dr. Ravee Vellu, who's just joined us for the fourth or third time. I already lost count because he's coming so regular at Kopi With Vans. amazing topic with so much of viewers that ask us so many questions that we are totally dive into the questions Q&A time. But I think we have done a little justice here. And of course, all the overflowing of messages that came in today, we are very humble with full of gratitude as well. And I really loved Dr. Ravi's last message about American Lincoln, how he actually faces the situation. I think every one of us, we can call ourselves a failure, but I will pretty much say that we are all are winners. Like how from a liquid base, what we are right now as a solid base, and eventually we will be just be a dust, right? But thinking about the end right now, and living blissfully every single second, that will makes us a great human with lots of love, with lots of kindness. And just to echo a little what Dr. Ravi has said, the last part, I think the most important part that you need to do is to believe in yourself. You don't expect the whole world to believe in you. As long your loved ones, your immediate loved ones, your close friends who are there for you for every single second, you must be really blessed. You must be really be blissful in that stage of you when you have them. Do not get disappointed. Do not have requirements. Don't expect for things. And when things doesn't happen, you get disappointed, and that is where a lot of us fall into the category of anxiety. And if that anxiety has not been solved, we all fall into depression. And this is one of the the flow chart that's going to. So always be a winner, and we are always a winner. Look at every challenges, every obstacles, any kind of situation as a positive situation, because that is where we are coming, or we are evolving ourselves from a greater part of our life. Kopi With Vans started 2.5 years back with 0 viewers. The only one person that was my follower was my wife. And I was drinking coffee and say, why don't you start something with coffee? I say, yeah, why not? And I'm now very blessed to see so many viewers and so many comments coming up. The kind of a mind, the kind of resilient mindset is not just talking about it, it's about doing it. We may fall, but always remember, when we fall, we don't stay there. We get up. Even if we fall 100 times, we are going to get up 101 times. There's no such thing as giving up in our life, unless the expiry date will then be a solution for all of us. Till then, Kopi With Vans on my next topic again, Wednesday, 9 p.m. without fail. Please join me. And oh, good. I got more comments that's coming in right now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, viewers. You are such an amazing bunch who engage us. I'm actually already perspiring right now because the AC, but I'm thankful for the beautiful moment in this 1 hour and 23 minutes every Wednesday, 9 p.m. I treasure it. Thank you for the message. Please keep on coming in. Stay tuned for our talk session that's going to come up. We are going to do a seminar very soon together with me and Dr. Ravi. Stay tuned for the banners. Stay tuned for the advertisements going to come in. Not really advertisement, but just to get the information where we are going to conduct the course and lectures as well. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing session every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Actually, I enjoy the session very much as you all. All right. So catch you then. This is Vans. Kopi With Vans. Ciao. See ya.